Hello everybody. Welcome you all at Learning is Fun with Progaparamita. Today I am going to discuss a very serious topic. It is all about punctuation marks. These are very important while we are going to write something. And if we are going to write something, if we don't put proper punctuation mark there, it doesn't have any proper meaning. People may fail to understand the meaning of the sentences or what you are trying to say or what you are trying to convey. So, a proper punctuation mark is very important for any kind of writing. So, today I am going to tell you what are the punctuation marks and how we can use them. What are the purpose actually the punctuation marks serve? I am also going to tell you in this video lesson. So watch this video lesson very carefully till the end. When we are talking about punctuation marks, they are the traffic signals of writing. So, as all we know that traffic signals serve the purpose of important purpose for everyone, and if you don't know about the traffic signals, you can't able to behave correctly while you are in the road. Similarly, punctuation mark also helps the reader and the writer to convey the proper meaning from the text. As I have told you, punctuation marks are the traffic signals of writing, and I have explained already. Punctuation marks actually are the symbols that are used to aid the clarity and comprehension of written language. So, when we are talking about the written language, punctuation mark plays a significant role, because when we are talking or when we are just doing conversation, we do not follow any punctuation mark there. It's not possible because it is the symbol which only used in the written language. So it is a part of the written language as well. Next, as all of we know that punctuation mark has a purpose. So what are the purposes? Punctuation marks serve two broad purposes. First, separation, and second, specification. Now I am going to tell you what is separation. The punctuation mark separates units that are in a simple linear relation to each other. For example, we use period, or you can say that full stop or space, etc. When we are talking about full stop or period, these are used to stop a sentence. When we are finished something, we have to use a period or full stop. One significant point I wish to tell you here, that when we are talking about period, this is an American use, but in British use it is called full stop. So, full stop or space or period, what you can say that full stop and period are same thing, are used to separate something from the rest of the part, because when you are putting a full stop, you actually end something while you are going to complete a complete sense of sentences is there. You complete something, and after completion you put a period or space, etc. So it separates a unit from the rest of the sentences. Another important point, punctuation marks is correlative. It indicates the beginning and the end of the included in it. For example, commas, etc. We use commas, etc. that are the correlative, and we just say the beginning or the end of some units. And I am going to discuss all these things in detail in the next part of this video lesson. Now, what is the specification purpose then? Punctuation mark specifies grammatical functions as well. For example, apostrophes. That is, not only punctuation mark just say that you have to stop somewhere, you just have to end something or begin something. That is, we frequently use a capital letter at the beginning of a sentence. We use a full stop while you are just have a stop there or finish a sentence. But punctuation marks has an important and significant grammatical purpose as well. For example, we use apostrophes. Apostrophes has a significant grammatical role. I am going to tell you everything in this video lesson, so stay with me till the end. Now I am going to tell you the important punctuation marks which are needed while you are going to write something. So what are these important punctuation marks? We frequently use them in our writing, because today's lesson is about the most important punctuation mark. We frequently use them. First, that is full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, comma, apostrophe, colon, and dash, quotation mark, and semicolon. These 9 punctuation marks are frequently used in our writing. So we have to know all about them separately. Now I am going to tell you about full stop, question mark, and exclamation mark. These are very important punctuation mark because they are used to close a sentence. This is very important, as I have told you at the beginning of this lesson, that punctuation marks serve 2 purposes. One of these 2 purposes is to separate thing or separate one item for another, and we use these punctuation mark, that is full stop, question mark, or exclamation, to close a sentence. And when a new sentence that follows one of these has a capital letter, so this is important. If we use any kind of these punctuation mark in a sentence and we wish to begin another sentence, and the next sentence obviously begins with a capital letter. Now let's see the examples. Here, I looked out of the window. It was snowing again. Here, there is a stop. That means you just complete one sentence and what you are going to convey is completed here, and the next sentence begins with a capital I. Next example, why do we try to reach the stars? What is it all for? Here you find a note of interrogation or question mark is used, and when you just wish to complete one sentence, and there the next sentence starts with a capital letter. Here W is capital. Next, what a beautiful sight. We must come again. Here also note of exclamation or the exclamation mark is used here, and after that we have to use a capital letter. So the point is clear. If we use any of these punctuation mark, that is full stop, question mark, and exclamation mark, the next sentence must be started with a capital letter. Now let's see the punctuation mark about full stop. We do not normally put full stop, question mark, or exclamation mark before or after grammatically incomplete sentences. This is important. If your sentence is grammatically completed, only when we can use these punctuation marks. What is that grammatically incomplete sentence? Now I am going to tell you. That is, she phoned me as soon as she arrived. Here, we'd never say, she phoned me, stop, as soon as she arrived, because these two sentences is not or are not, because the next part, as soon as she arrived, it is not a grammatically correct sentence. So when a sentence is not grammatically correct, we do not use these kind of punctuation mark. Next, full stop or period are used in the following ways. Now I am going to tell you where to use full stop. To close a sentence, as we have already noticed that, to close a sentence. Next, in case of abbreviation, that is MA, BA, doctor, PhD, etc., we have to use full stop. Indirect questions. So this is important. What is indirect question? There are several type of questions are there. Sometimes if we say some indirect question, there we do not use the note of interrogation. Instead of that, we have to use a note of full stop, that is a period. I asked her what time it was. Here we have to use full stop. We never say not what time it was. This is an indirect question. While we are talking about indirect question, we have to use full stop always. So if we wish to know about questions and how to ask question, I have video lesson. I will provide the link in the description box below. Please do watch that thing also. Now, question mark. Where to use question mark? Question mark comes at the end of a question. Question mark is a request for information. That is, what is a question actually? Questions are actually when you are requesting for some information, and when you are requesting for some information, you have to use question mark. That is, what is your name? Where do you live? Here you find we have to use question mark here because we are asking some information from someone. Next, rhetorical question. This is important. Some questions are used principally as a polite request. Actually, it is not a question, interrogation, or you are not asking information. It is a polite request. That is, would you pass the salt? Here, this is called a rhetorical question, and when you are talking about rhetorical question, you have to use a question mark. Next, exclamation mark. After an interjection or exclamation to indicate strong feeling or high volume or often mark the end of a sentence, we have to use exclamation mark. For example, wow, that's great. Now, commas. Where we have to use commas. Commas reflect pause in a speech. So, when we are talking about list, we use commas to separate item in a series of list. As we have told you about the purpose separation, punctuation does the function of separation. So, here, Britain, I went to Spain, Italy, Switzerland, Australia, or and Germany. This is a British use. Why it is a British use, now I am going to tell you. And when you are just doing an American use, I went to Spain, Italy, Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. Look at the use of commas here. Actually, the British people do not put commas before and. This is important thing you have to keep in mind. If you are talking about British English, you do not find any comma before and, but when we are talking about American English, we find commas before and. This is important thing you have to keep in mind. Adjectives in predicative position, commas are always between adjectives. That is, that person was tall, dark, and handsome. Here you find this is a predicative position because adjectives are used in the position of predicate part or in the predicate part with verb. That is, here you find the commas are there. Before a noun, we generally use commas between adjectives. Now, another use of commas is word order. If words and expressions are put in unusual place or interrupt the normal progression of a sentence, we usually separate them by using commas. For example, my father, however, did not agree. Here you find this letter or this word, however, which is placed in between these two part, in between my father and did not agree. And here, if we try to place or if we wish to place some word in its unusual position, you have to put commas before and after that word. And here, Andrew Carpenter, the deputy sales manager, was sick. Here, about Andrew Carpenter, we just put another information. This is called parenthesis. So here we have to put comma before and after that thing, that information we just wish to convey. Next, identifying expression. We use commas to say who or what is being talked about. For example, Stephen in the car was cornering superbly. Here that is Stephen, and in the car we just identifying the person who is called Stephen, and in that case also we put commas before and after that phrase. Another example, Mrs. Sen, who was sitting behind the reception desk, gave Parker a big smile. Here also we find we talking about Mrs. Sen, some extra information, and here while we are just put some extra information to identify some person, here we also put before and after that phrase commas. Now, commas are used in coordinate clauses. Those who wish to know more about coordinate clause, I have a video lesson about clause. You can watch that video lesson as well. Long coordinate clauses connected with and, but, or are usually separated by commas. Let's see the example. Jane decided to try the homemade steak pie, and Andrew ordered Dover sole with boiled potatoes. Here, this is a long coordinate clause which is joined with and before and we have to use commas, because if the coordinating clause or coordinate clause is long, then you have to use commas with before that coordinating conjunction to separate the whole thing. Next, in a direct speech, commas are always used. A comma is generally used between a reporting expression of speech of direct speech. For example, I don't like this one, said Julia. Here, I don't like this one. This is a direct speech, and here you have to use commas after the direct speech. And who said this? Julia said this. Next, now I am going to tell you about apostrophes. We use apostrophes for three main reasons. Number one, when we are talking about missing letter, that means can't, cannot, it's, it is, or it has, I would, or I had. If we just wish to omit a letter, we use apostrophe. Possessives. As I have told you, apostrophes and punctuation always have a grammatical purpose. Here, possessive and missing letter, all these are served a grammatical purpose. We use apostrophes before and after possessive s endings of noun. Here, the girl's father, here you use apostrophe here. This is singular. 3 miles walk, this is plural. But here, note one thing. If it is singular, you have have to put apostrophe before s, but if the noun is plural, you have to put apostrophe after s. This thing, almost all the people have a mistake there. They put apostrophe here even the noun is plural, but don't do that and be careful about that thing. If the noun is a plural, you have to use apostrophe after s ending, but if it is a singular, you have to put apostrophe before s. But possessive determiners and pronoun do not have apostrophes. This is important thing. What is possessive determiner and pronoun? If you wish to know that, I have a video lesson there. So here, has the cat had its food yet? Here, eats. Here we do not use any apostrophe. This is a possessive determiner. And this is yours, but here also this is a possessive pronoun, and in both of these cases we do not use apostrophe. Next, possessive words do not usually plural, sometimes have an apostrophe when a plural form is written. For example, you find this is missing letter eats, that means it is. It's a nice idea, but there are a lot of eats here. This is a special pronoun, eats. So in that case also we have to use apostrophe. The plural of letters, often a number or abbreviation, we use apostrophe. For example, it was in the early 60s, or you can say 60s, both are correct. I know 2 MPs personally, or MPs. Here also you can use these apostrophe in that way. Now, colon. Colon is another important thing. You have to know where to use colon. Colons are used in the following ways, that is exclamation. When we are just going to explain something, we for example, we decided not to go on holiday. We had too little money. Here this information that we had too little money, we just explain the cause where we don't decide to go on a holiday. So if you just sharing some information that is an explanation, we have to use colon here. My mother may have to go into hospital. She's got a kidney trouble. Here also I just explain, or we just explain why, the cause. So when we are just doing some explanation, we have to use colon. In a direct speech is introduced by name. When a direct speech is introduced by name, we have to use colon here, that is Paulinus colon. What do you read, my lord? Hamlet. Words, words, words. So these are the use of colon. Next, in a list, like commas, in a list we can introduce a colon as well. We need 3 kind of support: economic, moral, and political. Here also we find we use colon, like as we have also knew that we use commas also. So if we are talking about list, we have to use colon as well. Now, dash are common in informal writing. They are used in the same way as colon and semicolon or bracket. So, about dash, we can say that this is not used in formal writing. If you are writing a letter to an editor, writing a letter to your boss, you don't use dash. Dash are not used there. It is a part of informal writing. So, my mother, who rarely gets angry, really lost her temper. Here we just use some information and about my mother, and when we are just try to do that thing, we have to put dash before and after that information, and this is again called a parenthesis, and just we are sharing some information about my mother. Dash can introduce an afterthought or something unexpected and surprising. So this is another way we can use dash. Let's see the example. We will be arriving on Monday morning. At least I think so. So it is you have to use dash here because it may be an afterthought or unexpected happening or surprising event. In that case, we use dash. Now I am going to tell you about quotation marks. Special use of word, titles and special meaning, we sometime or we often use quotation marks. Quotation marks are also called inverted commas. Let's see the example. His next book was Heart of Darkness. Here, Heart of Darkness is the name of the book or title. So, where we are going to mention certain thing that is title or special name. So, we have to use that thing within inverted commas. In a direct speech, we use quotation mark to quote direct speech. Here, who is the best player? He asked. Here we find we use the direct speech within a quotation mark. And here, this is an important thing I wish to remember or remind you again, that if the direct speech is introduced with the name of that person, we have to use colon. And but if the direct speech has not introduced with the help of the name or something, we have to use quotation mark. Now I am going to tell you about semicolon, which are used instead of full stop. Here are the example for you. It's a fine idea. Let us hope that it's going to work. And the next example for you, some people work best in the morning, others do better in the evening. Here, in both cases, we use semicolon instead of full stop. So these are all about the punctuation mark. Hope you like this video lesson. If you have any queries, do not forget to comment in the comment section and I definitely reply them. And if you like this video lesson, please do put a like also. So no more today. Thank you for listening and bye bye.